Hi, it's another week in the land of domain monetization, and there's been some incredible things that are going on as per normal, so don't go away. Be right back. Hi, it's great to be back here once again to take a look at the domain monetization industry and all the stats to do with it. But just before we get stuck into that, a few interesting things that happened this past week in my life. Number one is masterclass lessons. We deployed a new update to the system, and it's much, much better. Some of you may receive some emails. If you received a few all at once, I do apologize for that. And it's just to encourage you to take a look at the material there. There is so much great material, there really is, in those video lessons. And you can choose which one you want. Costs you nothing, so why not give it a go? The other thing is that for those people who have done a certain number of the lessons, we're actually running an online get-together. So you can do a Q&A and ask me all sorts of questions. Put me under the hot lights. Make it difficult for me, whatever it is, and hopefully I can answer all your questions. Fingers crossed for that. A few other things, PackLogic, once again, is going from strength to strength, and I must admit, we're just doing one record month after another, and it's been a really good year for us. So if you've got more than $250 a month in parking revenue, then reach out to us. Like, seriously, once again, it doesn't cost you anything to have a chat. Be more than happy to go along and talk with you. So just go to the PackLogic website and sign up for an account, and we'll give you a call. But anyway, so there's quite a few things happening, but without further ado, let's take a look at what's going on with the domain monetization stats from the 19th of November. Yeah, some really good, interesting things have been happening. The first thing that we can see there is looking at the normalized RPM and RPM. Remember the differences between these two? Go do masterclass lessons. I think it's lesson 5 or 6, and you'll know exactly the difference. But if you take a look at this, then the normalized RPM is revenue divided by raw traffic versus, or monetizable traffic. And the RPM is revenue divided by views, quite different figures. But anyway, what we've seen is that the normalized RPM is continuing to trend upwards, and the typical RPM is quite flat, which is surprising. I thought it'd be starting to go up lead up to Christmas, particularly we got Black Friday next week, but you know, it's early days yet. Let's see what happens. So EPC and CTR. I remember last week I was thinking that maybe the CTR and EPC, they were doing another breakout that we saw earlier on back in July. And I think it could be occurring again, but they're still doing that dance, that inverse relationship dance. CTR goes up, EPC goes down. I don't know why that happens. It's illogical, but it just does. It means somewhere maybe the numbers are being fudged. I know it's not with us. But anyway, so, and if we take a look at this is the trend, the 14-day trend and moving average. And the EPC seems to be coming up, while the CTR is flat. So maybe there is another breakout which is occurring. It's almost like every 6 months there's something going on here. So we'll keep an eye on that across the coming weeks ahead. What else we got here? The volatility. Volatility, really, it's been relatively flat. You can see there's that spike. And let me see if I can just highlight that spike here at the end. That spike there is really, it's a function of the previous weeks largely. So it's been relatively flat. Nothing much is really happening there. So if we were to benchmark the normalized RPM from January 1, in other words, we had 1 for the normalized RPM, where would it be right now? And you can see it would be right up here. So we've seen quite a bit of an increase. It's about an increase of 170% in the normalized RPM. And that's really been a staggering result. given the fact that a lot of businesses are going through tough times and everything like that. But then again, they are coming online, and that's what we'd like to see happen. Okay, so what's going on between Google and direct advertising networks? Well, Google's in blue, direct advertising networks are in red. And I would like to say that it's clear there's now a trend. And you can see the trend from about this position towards the end of September for Google began to trend down, and the direct advertisers are trending up. And I think the reason for that is the direct advertisers are rejigging their business, approaching different advertisers, their traditional market verticals, which got decimated by COVID, like travel and so forth. I think they're actually getting some other people on board there, and that's what we're seeing. And with the result, they're actually beginning to pay more and more and more for the traffic. So, which is a great outcome. It really is. So it's something we're pretty happy with. So if you think about it, about 30% of the revenue is now on this sample portfolio is coming now from direct advertisers. And that's an awesome result. I wouldn't be surprised if it just continues to trend upwards. Likewise, there's a definite trend upwards here across this period of time for the amount of traffic that the direct advertisers are taking away from Google in that process. So Google, happy for you to fight back, pay some more for the traffic, and that's just awesome. Otherwise, you're going to be losing it to the direct advertising networks. Now, that being said, if you don't have exposure to the direct advertising networks, then seriously, like, you got to do something about that. You really do. So you need that exposure. Okay, so here's the normalized RPM. And you can see Google has really, essentially it's flattened off here. I know we got some nice curves, trend lines and stuff, but it really has been flat for the last couple of months. And direct advertisers every now and then taking a step up. I'm wondering whether we're about to have another step up. Now, the next chart puts things in perspective, where they're now using the same right-hand axis, put it on the right-hand axis so it's easier to see because we're concentrating on this part here. And you can see that the direct advertisers, after being down here, advertising networks have really stepped up, and I think they're going to take another one. I'm really looking forward to that as they win more and more of the traffic. Okay, but what's happened during this past week? If you remember the previous week, we saw the direct advertiser trend was up and everything. But if you look here, it's all trending down. Not good, not good. Which is surprising. It really is surprising. But remember, this is the 14-day snapshot. So I'll be interested to see what happens to next week's data. All right then, percentage change volatility. And you can see there was a bit of an upswing from Google. But it was very brief and then it's fallen back down. So we've really been in that contraction phase because you can't have a constant, a forever growth phase, can you? That's just physically impossible. There has to be some contractions at some stage. Sort of like the market. If you can't have a forever bull market, you can have a bear every now and then. And that's all there is to it. Okay, so normalized RPM growth from base, and you can see Google has really ramped themselves up across time, but being flat. Direct advertisers have been about the same. Remember, they're actually using different axes here. So don't forget, Park Logic, and give us a call. You need more than $250 a month in traffic revenue. Reach out, apply for an account. It doesn't cost anything. Go ahead and do it. Check out my blog. There's so much material on my blog and masterclass lessons. Like, I don't get anything out of masterclass lessons, so you may as well go ahead and apply for an account. Well, that's not true. I get a warm, fuzzy feeling that people are actually enjoying the material that's there. So anyway, that's this week's update. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing some more. And Saturday Musings will be back, I think, this Saturday. Looking forward to it. Thanks a lot for that. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video and you find them really valuable for your business and helping you make better decisions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or pass the video on to your friends. Anyway, thanks a lot for that. Have a great day. Bye.